Nobody from my family came to my graduation. Not my wife, not my kids. They went to my wife's rich ex-husband's housewarming instead. I walked the stage alone, shook the dean's hand, and posed for a photo that already felt hollow. When I stepped outside, my phone lit up. 95 missed calls from my wife. We need to talk. Urgently. I'm Marcus Hall, 37. I spent 5 years getting that master's. Before dawn alarms, double shifts, night classes, and a house that ran on caffeine and guilt. Mornings I packed lunches while rehearsing client pitches. Evenings I raced across town to sit in classrooms full of 20-somethings and vending machine coffee. I told myself it was for my family. Better job, better future. Some proof their dad didn't settle. Somewhere around year 3, the cheerleading at home faded. My wife, Claire, got tired of the library light on at midnight. The kids learned not to invite me to games on exam nights. And Victor, her ex, glided back into the picture with courtside tickets, shiny toys, and a house big enough to echo. He was always expanding into commercial, always available, always fun. It's hard to compete with a man who can buy the weekend. I planned graduation like a mission, seats reserved, a suit tailored, dinner at a restaurant I'd only driven past. In my head, they'd clap, we'd hug, we'd eat real dessert instead of budget brownies. Instead, 3 weeks before the ceremony, Claire said almost casually, "Victor's having a house opening, infinity pool, the kids are excited." When, I objected, she called my ceremony just a graduation. The night before, she packed beach towels. On the morning of, I found a note by the coffee maker. They'd gone early. "We'll try to make it." I dressed anyway. The auditorium was a sea of families. Mine was somewhere between a hot tub and a taco truck. When they called my name, the applause sounded polite and anonymous. I walked off stage fighting the urge to laugh. Outside, the phone finally buzzed. 95 missed calls. I called back. "The pool deck collapsed," Claire sobbed. "Liam's hurt. We're at Westbrook." The drive felt endless. I peeled off my gown at a red light and threw it onto the passenger seat. At the ER, I found Claire and Grace, shaken, small, terrified. Victor stood nearby with his parents, all serious faces and apologies about contractors and code. A doctor told us Liam was lucky. A compound fracture and sprained ankle, set and casted, 6 weeks on crutches. When we saw him, he was loopy from meds and worried about me. "Dad, I'm sorry I missed your graduation," he mumbled. "Did I ruin it?" "No," I said, meaning it and not meaning it. We got him settled. We got home. The pool towels were still on the coffee table like evidence. Claire started to apologize. I couldn't hear it. I packed a bag and checked into a Hampton Inn to think. A week of hotel quiet will tell you the truth you've been dodging. Every morning I visited Liam, helped with PT, brought him decent snacks. I took Grace for ice cream. She asked if we were getting divorced. I said we were talking. Claire texted apologies and explanations. I kept my phone mostly off. I wrote down what needed to change if I was going to come back. Not punishments, boundaries. When I finally walked through our door, the kids hugged me like I'd been gone a year. After homework, Claire and I sat at the kitchen table like business partners. "My achievements have to matter," I said. "You treated graduation like optional background noise. Our kids learned that Victor's fun outranks Dad's work. That can't happen again." She didn't argue. She cried, real tears, and said the thing I needed to hear. I was selfish. I was chasing excitement and calling it opportunity. I disrespected you. We talked about the comparisons she kept making, about how Victor's money had become the standard for a good time. She told me he'd texted to apologize and that she'd told him we needed space from his events. We set rules we could. Both live with. Family milestones don't compete with parties. We build our own traditions. We stop outsourcing fun to someone else's wallet, and the kids see us show up for each other, even when it's boring, even when it's long, even when there's a pool. A month later, Claire cooked a proper graduation dinner, late, small, and perfect. Liam, still on crutches, toasted me for working really hard even when we didn't notice. Grace added, for loving us when we made a bad choice about a pool party. I wore the suit again, and this time it didn't feel like a costume. That night on the porch, Claire squeezed my hand. I'm proud of you, she said, not just for the degree, for insisting we be a team. Here's what I learned. A diploma is paper. Respect is practice. If you don't demand the second, the first can't save you. I wanted my family to be proud of me. What I needed was for us to start showing up for each other, and to mean it. Tapetu.